亲爱的朋友们，今天我要说英文了。Hi guys, today I need to use my perfect English to do this video because we invited a handsome CMO of $1 come to our channel. Today we're going to share our insights on the business or investment opportunity for the metaverse, and we're getting to know their also awesome product as well. So, Ben, can you introduce yourself?
Hello, my name is Benjamin Novotny. I've been involved in the blockchain space since 2017 with my first investments, coming into Bitcoin, or my first buy-in in the Bitcoin blockchain beginning in October of 2017. Better late than never, but of course there are people who say that we're still early today. And I've gradually just ventured out into other, I guess you could say, altcoins and other cryptocurrencies as time has gone on.
Why we invited Ben to our channel, and because I'm not expert for crypto related or metaverse, but today, metaverse is kind of like a number one buzzword in the whole world. Everybody talks about it, right? Everybody wants to know what's the opportunity in the future. As my team and $1 team have been working almost for 1 month, and for a marketing project, we gained a lot of knowledge about crypto coin product and $1 product as well. That's why we invite Ben to our channel. We can share more for our audience. So can you share more about what do you think the opportunity and your product?
Sure, absolutely. So, I think everyone is a little bit lost right now with what the term metaverse means and what the metaverse might have in terms of potential for each and every individual user. I personally also work for 2 different metaverse projects right now that I don't think would be a good time to mention for the time being. But basically the general idea is you own, I would say everyone is leaning towards saying that with the metaverse, everyone's going to be using NFTs as well as decentralized file storage systems. And that would mean basically, okay, well, I own however many tokens that are on a MetaMask wallet or any Web 3.0 wallet, if you will. And then those tokens in and of themselves do not have any files attached to them. However, they ping file storage services online, such as IPFS, for example, such as Filecoin, for example. And then what they do is they pull the representations, or rather they pull the art or physical representations, 3D representations, virtual representations,
data.
Yes, the metadata
Yeah.
on the blockchain into whatever 3D application I am using. And so we're calling this a metaverse because you can have several different flavors of all of these different 3D worlds, if you will. And one, you could be an astronaut living in a space station with some friends, and you just happen to have a CryptoPunk NFT and you want to post it there. And another one, you could be in a virtual world where there is a large emphasis on race car driving. And again, you want to show everyone your CryptoPunk, so maybe you could hang the CryptoPunk somewhere inside of your car or somewhere inside of your home, inside of that racing game metaverse, if you will. And all of these sound like, very specific, very niche applications, but as the technology surrounding this, whether it be VR or just, if you will, PC technology in general, these kinds of buzzwords, I'm actually a bit of a boomer myself. When I say boomer, I'm not a big fan of VR, but I've used it before. So maybe I'll stick to a desktop when I get into a metaverse application, but I'll definitely have to wait and see how that goes on.
Yeah, I totally agree with you. A lot of noise about NFT or those avatar or those become very popular, but people, I think, ignore some basic thing, that is what you mentioned about Web 3.0, we all need, I think it's kind of like another version of our internet now, right? Just 3D version. But it should be another kind of like decentralized version of internet, 3D internet. So since metaverse, for example, Web 3.0 is also decentralized, we also need a place to store all our data. For example, everything is data, right? What I'm looking at, what I'm doing inside everything is data. Also need to be stored in kind of like a decentralized place, like you mentioned, IPFS, right?
Interplanetary
IPFS.
File storage.
Yeah, it's also decentralized. So this is also very, very important. It's kind of like basically like infrastructure for this metaverse. Anything to do with your product?
So in essence, yes, because what we do is we create an incentive for people to contribute to the hash power of a decentralized file storage system, and that is Mine of Mine, which is, I guess you could say, a subproduct of the Filecoin ecosystem, if you will, or I guess you'd say a member product of the Filecoin ecosystem. And of course, the more people who join this, the more opportunities there are for the stakers involved, as well as the people who are relying on a system such as Filecoin to create an alternative, or if you will, a more robust decentralized file storage ecosystem.
Do you want to share more about what is a mine of mine? As I understand, it's kind of like a mining, right? A mining system. So now we can only use mine of mine to mine Filecoin.
Well, that is correct, but the underlying hash power comes from market-recognized coins such as the Filecoin or Ethereum, and we call this our, if you will, source mining power or source hashing power.
Ben, can you talk more about VDollar and your product?
Sure, absolutely. So at VDollar, we are constantly pushing the bounds for creating unique financial products. And back in the summer, we had one that was very interesting, known as VDollar, which basically was trading as mining. And this is going to sound complicated, but the more trading volume that we got on our exchange, the higher our exchange proprietary token would become in value. And it would only double. Like, for example, it would be worth $1 and then it would go to $2 and then $4 and $8, so long as the trading fees that were on the exchange could support that kind of volume. And it was an interesting idea, but now the product that we are introducing is known as Mine of Mine, or MM.
So what is MM? Can you give us more details?
So previously we were talking about Metaverse and everything that is necessary to fuel that, and that is basically a decentralized file storage system. Whether there's going to be one or whether there's going to be many is something that we are going to, that is yet to be determined. But for example, if we're going to be going with full-blown IPFS, then if that's the only choice, then the world that we're going to live in is going to depend on one entity not crashing. However, if Filecoin can really pick up and gain traction and attention, if you will, then as time goes on, the hashing power necessary to keep it online and safe and productive will be, how do I say this? It'll only, the demand for that will only go up. That's why we think that Mine of Mine is going to be a very interesting product. We're not the only ones who are contributing to Filecoin hash power, if you will. But what we're doing with this one is we're taking a very unique approach to it with some DeFi elements.
So maybe I also should invest in the Filecoin and MMF, right?
It wouldn't be a bad idea, but it would probably be a good idea to do this with money that you may not need, say, in the next 2 weeks, or to pay rent, or something that you're comfortable with putting away for a long period of time. Because what we have with regards to, say, just if a user was to mine Filecoin of his or her own accord, then basically he or she would be forced into locking their their own Filecoin tokens away for either 540 or 720 days. However, with Mine of Mine, we are working on strategizing and making our timelines much more flexible. However, when compared to the expected APY of what you would get from mining Filecoins in and of themselves, it would just be about 72% expected APY. With us, however, it would be 96% expected APY. But again, we're still trying to flesh out the full-blown details of the required, if you will, lockaway, if you will.
I think it's good to know that MMF have that kind of flexibility, and also maybe it's a way to hold the coin, Filecoin for a long time, because we all know that in the future it will be, blooming, right?
Yeah, it'll be booming. This is kind of like the turn of the century, and only maybe university academics and some, I would say, I guess you'd say a room full of engineers are fully understanding the world that we're headed into at the beginning of the 20th century. Like if you were to get, maybe, this is probably a bad comparison, but all of the brightest minds of the Western frontier together, then you would say, okay, well, we just got a telegram from New York that says people are driving around in cars, and to power those cars, they need a unique fluid that comes out of the ground, and it's called oil or petroleum or something like that. And so what you have then, and say on the West Coast, maybe in California or what was back then Oregon, just a brand new state back then, if even that, you would have people who were thinking, okay, well, we need to find the most qualified individuals who can do something like that out here. But instead, what you're doing is we have that information that is out here for everyone to do the research and figure out themselves. That platforms like IPFS and coins like Filecoin, that is going to be the oil for the metaverse in some ways.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to create the demand for it later, if not, and when I say later, I mean in a few years, if not the next few months.
It's very important, kind of like Filecoin, like a basic infrastructure of a metaverse. It's very important, right? Okay.
Right. I mean, some people are going to look at this and say, wouldn't Bitcoin just be a safe investment though? Because basically the story or the narrative that people draw with Bitcoin is, if you buy that and hold it for at least 3 years, you will almost always have profit. I usually go a bit longer, and I use the timeline of 4 years to be safer.
But sometimes holding a coin for a long time it's very hard, because every day you see people trading and maybe they can get the profit right now. So have to convince yourself.
My opinion is that is not trading, that is gambling.
Good.
Really.
Good point. Mm-hmm.
But that's just my own opinion. I actually I'm holding my coins for a very, very long period of time, and I probably won't be selling them until I think I can afford a house without a down payment. But that's probably an easy achievement, given that I come from Midwestern
When
America.
it will afford a mansion, then you will sell it, right?
I don't want to become a target. I want to be someone who I want to be somebody who hides in plain sight.
Yeah, I have to be very 谦虚, right?
Of course. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think today's video is very interesting. And thanks, Ben, coming to our channel to share his thoughts and their $8 amazing product. Yeah, maybe we can invite you another time.
Thanks. Yeah, I wouldn't mind stopping by again at a later time.
Thanks.
For sure. Yeah, no problem.